everybody, and welcome. As we like to do every week, we like to take a look at the past week's market activity, and then obviously bounce on the market and look for something to trade. We're still doing this left-handed, so there won't be any markings on the screen. Again, I'll just be using the arrows to kind of point around because I'm down to one hand, at least for the next few weeks. So here we go. If you watched the market all last week, this is the S&P 500, and it took a bit of a dip. Obviously, it was kind of going nowhere essentially for a few weeks, but last week it took a bit of a dive. And with that, you can see volatility spiked. As we always know, usually when the market tanks, volatility increases. And obviously with the election coming up, there's probably a lot of turmoil just in general. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So volatility is high in the market right now. If we look at the NASDAQ, obviously a similar picture. Usually they kind of fairly well mimic each other. The only one that usually looks a little different, if it's going to be different, is the Russell, and you can see that one is different. That one's kind of been bouncing around quite a bit, and also kind of its lows of the last couple of months right here. Volatility, again, fairly high. So what are we going to trade this week? Well, I think because of the election and all this uncertainty, volatility itself seems like a good thing to teach you how to trade. So if we go here, this is the VIX future. This is the basically real-time VIX volatility index. And while you can see it's kind of been fairly stable, you can see it's basically been trending upwards for quite a while now. And if we go to right where it is as of right now, you can see, except for this huge blip right here back in August when the market had a little hiccup, it's about as high as it's been all year. So as a volatility trader, let's say, my assumption will be that hopefully over the next couple of months, basically by the end of the year, after all this uncertainty with elections and obviously all the other stuff going on, I'm going to expect that the volatility will tend to drop over the next couple of months. And the way I play that is by going to what they call an ETN, which is just another version of a stock, ETF, let's say, VXX. So this basically mimics volatility. You can see the graph looks exactly the same as the volatility future. So what we're going to do here is, again, I'm going to assume that the volatility is going to drop over the next couple months, which means I'm going to sell a call spread. So if I go to the trade page, if I look at where we're at right here, 47, which should be 46 tomorrow, perfect, right in our wheelhouse. Now, when we trade volatility, it's a slightly different formula than everything else. Volatility does not trade like any other stock. It's much cheaper, meaning when I'm doing verticals, things like that, usually I'm looking to 33 to 40 cents per dollar width. When I trade volatility, I have to pay a lot more, risk a lot more to make a lot less. So I've already set this thing up to make it easy for us. Basically what we do is we always go one strike above where the stock or the ETN is. So if everything stays the same tomorrow, 56.85 is where we're at. I would sell the call directly above wherever that stock price is, wherever it changes tomorrow to, just go one above it. In this case, it's 57, right? It's right above it. And I go $2 wide. I always do $2 wide verticals. And I'm looking to collect 50 cents or more on this trade. Normally it'd be 66 to 80 on a normal vertical, but volatility again trades much cheaper than stocks or ETFs, straight ETFs. Volatility is just a different ball game in itself. So when I trade volatility, again, I'm looking for 50 cents or more per $2 wide vertical. And I always trade $2 because one's not going to get you enough money. You're not going to get more than 27, 28, 29 cents. It's just not going to be enough for the trade. So our trade in volatility for tomorrow, with the assumption that volatility would decrease towards the end of the year, is sell the call directly above the stock price, buy the one $2 away, and I need to collect at least 50 cents or more for this to be a valid trade in VXX. Again, this is our trade in volatility, whole different set of rules for it, but this is how we'll look to trade it tomorrow in VXX. That's our trade for Monday. I am excited to let you know I've completed a book that is now available to everyone that wants to get it, called Learn to Trade in 7 Days. This is a book that will take you from absolute ground zero, as far as knowing absolutely nothing about options, all the way to trading them. Now, I'm so intent on getting this book to you because I really believe it is such a valuable resource for anybody and everybody that I'm going to offer an incredible deal on this, so stick with me on this. But before we get there, I want to show you what the book entails. The book is broken down into 7 days. Day one being, what is an option? You'll learn everything about options themselves. We'll compare stocks versus options. Then we'll get into basic option strategies like the vertical. And finally, we'll wrap it up with how to trade verticals and then the making and managing of trades, which is to me the key to success long term above all. Now, as I mentioned, if you get into it now, if you go to this link, you can get this book for only $9.99. And I know that may not appeal to a lot of people because a lot of people aren't into books, but I'm so intent on getting you this book because I really believe it is such a valuable resource to anybody and everybody that I'll also throw in any one of my courses right here available on Udemy right now. So for only $9.99, you not only get the book itself, but you get one free course, which can be valued for as much as $100 depending on when and where you buy these courses. Again, just go to this link here and it'll take you to this page where, as you can see, you'll get the book and one of my courses for only $9.99. So really can't be beat. So again, just to reiterate, go to this link here. You will get my book, which you can hang on to forever, and I really believe is such a vital resource. I'm throwing in a course to really get you motivated to buy this book. That's how important I really believe this book is. The book and one of my courses for only $9.99 simply by going to this link. Please jump on this opportunity. It is something you really will be happy you did.